Namaskar. I'm Dr. J. Kedareswari here, speaking with school children from Focus High School and Sujatha High School. We have these students whom we are going to interact with on heritage and freedom movement, both. Let us see what our children are going to tell us today about this, what they think about heritage. Before that, let me introduce Madhu Vottery to y'all. Madhu Vottery has done her masters from Delhi School of Planning and Architecture and in conservation architecture, and she's a freelance worker. She has done many projects for Hyderabad and especially for Telangana, the state of Telangana. She's authored many books, about 5 books, I think, Madhu, for children on heritage. Can you tell us the titles of these books, Madhu?
Namaste. Thank you for inviting us to All India Radio. Thank you, ma'am. I'm Madhu Vottery. I'm a conservation architect and I have written 5 books on Hyderabad heritage and different aspects of Indian cultural heritage. I actually started my journey in Hyderabad in 2005 and I realized that there's a lot of heritage in all the corners of Hyderabad and they're in good condition. This is the statement I would say 15 years back, and I started writing my first book, A Guide to the Heritage of Hyderabad, the Natural and the Built, where I documented more than 250 sites. That was a beautiful experience. And parallelly, I was working on Hyderabad Heritage Walks also, which finally, we had developed 4 different routes, and the government was very supportive. And they did conduct a lot of events, and then we were inviting a lot of school children to experience what the heritage is about, and that's what I literally loved being with children all the time, and that's where ma'am has invited, and we brought good number of children, and then we selected these children, and they're very happy. We are happy to have them.
Tell us about the titles of your books.
Yes, ma'am.
It's for a specially targeted audience.
Yes,
children.
ma'am. So I worked on second book where I realized that the children are the torch bearers. They should know about heritage. Instead of having a closed room discussion, we should take them to the sites and make them learn. So that's where my second book came in picture. That's about heritage of Hyderabad from children for children, and I worked with the 16 children in that book.
Yes.
These children have given us their products which they called Hyderabad heritage. One child says Hyderabad heritage is Mehendi. Another child says Hyderabad heritage is about Dasara and Eid celebration. Some other child says, the peace of Hyderabad, the brotherhood of, the behavior of people in
the harmony.
Nature. Yeah, the harmony. That's Hyderabad heritage. So this happened. I was invited to for an exchange program to US called IVLP, International Visitor Leadership Program, where I communicated with another 15 countries participant, and I realized that Hyderabad heritage has so much of richness which should be brought out to the children, and that's where the idea of second book was born. And then the book was translated also in Telugu to reach more public, the local public, and we are also expecting to do it in Hindi and Urdu. And then I just worked on another project called Magnifying the Miniature. This book is actually about a lot of miniature painting, for which I took help of Salarjung Museum.
Yes. Yeah, I do remember.
Yes, ma'am.
And in fact, you also participated in the summer art camps which I organized there.
Ma'am.
You spoke with almost 300 children about heritage.
Yes.
You participated in the competitions which we held. All the school children of the Twin Cities participated in the competitions.
Yes.
Very glad to have you here, Madhu. And now let us see what Sakina has to tell us about heritage. Sakina, what attracted you to heritage?
I once saw an article in which I saw prints of amazing artworks, and that really fascinated me and brought my interest into the topic.
Yeah, but these prints, what was the subject?
It was the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Okay, you got my words, yeah. So it was about freedom struggle?
Yeah, it was about freedom struggle.
Fantastic, that's very good. Do you know that paintings exist, oils exist, depicting our freedom struggle? But of course, they give you a different version, and you have a lot of these prints and engravings and lithographs in museums all over the country. You have a lot of commentary, a lot of text telling you what the Indians thought, those who fought, those who faced trial in the court, right? What they thought. These are all archived in the archives, the National Archives and the archives of every state. So I do hope, Sakina, that you like these prints. What these prints exactly depict is, the wars which were fought, different forms of freedom. This freedom struggle took different forms in different states. The uprisings, nature was different. So there was a general kind of a freedom which was fought right throughout India, and different people headed this. Some were headed by Talukdar, some by Zamindar, some by Rajas. Okay, and finally in 1857, which is our first war of independence?
A revolt of 1857.
Yes, 1857, when the sepoys refused to bite the bullet. Okay,
Cartridges.
Cartridges. Yes, with their mouth, and then that started in Meerut, and then it broke out and
Mangal
spread.
Pandey started it.
Yes, Mangal Pandey started it. That's very interesting. And do you know how it spread? It spread like wildfire,
Wildfire.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Or to which places? Batool?
Lucknow, Delhi, Maharashtra, and Meerut, within Meerut as well, and other states as well.
Yes. Do you know it reached Hyderabad also? It
Yeah.
reached the residency right at our doorstep, isn't it? So, and what does it? What does it show? That there was this feeling of great patriotism and nationalism which arose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now talking to, let's talk to both of you about this subject. How do you find, you all are from class 8 and class 10, isn't it? Now, how do you find the subject of history when it is taught in your classrooms, and when Madhu takes you out to the sites and for walks? What is the difference? What is the difference that you find?
The main difference is a pictorial representation in our brain. Like when we read, we just think. It's not a clear picture, but when we go, we feel it. It's like while we cook.
You experience it.
Yeah, we experience. While we cook, we get to know so many techniques. Whereas when we just hear our mothers say recipes, we're like, okay, it's just a recipe. But when we cook naturally, by ourselves, like when we go, we see things, we see scriptures engraved on the walls, we see monuments, the science behind it, the places. We understand things better. We get to know their ideologies and about their expectations from the future generations and all.
Yes. Do you know about the Golconda Fort?
Yeah.
The great science behind the clapping?
Yeah,
Did you
because
go there?
there was no mean of communication at that time, so it was it is a hilly place, so it echoes like it's a tomb type, and when we clap, it echoes because there's a science
There's a
behind.
dome.
Yeah, there's
and
a
the dome has pinches. It has the acoustics designed. So that was a form of communication.
Yeah, so
right?
they give one clap like we see in
You
movie.
can hear it right on top, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's so
movies
fascinating.
also promote our monuments and
Yes.
sites, isn't it? So
Yeah.
monuments and sites are very important part of tourism. So this is what attracts tourism. That's how a place becomes friendly to visitors. Batool, do you have to say something?
I must say that the monuments, the heritage, the monuments hold a story behind them. Each monument has a story, like about the Taj Mahal. Shah Jahan made it for his wife, Mumtaz Mahal, Taj Mahal. So every monument has a story behind it. That's how heritage works for me.
Do you all know what is a World Heritage Inscription? Who confers the inscription? The UNESCO body confers. Do you all know that which is the latest inscription which Telangana won? Ramappa Temple.
Yeah, Ramamba temple having floating bricks, and before it was like before also it was there, but people did not believe it. They thought it was rubbish. Not to offend, but now there's a science behind it, and people are really fascinated, and we can prove that.
Yes.
People from all over the world come to see it, and people have been working to discover it in detail for years now, and now that the work is finally paid off, and people come to see it and get interested and fascinated.
Yeah, so they can interpret it, isn't it? You get a lovely interpretation because it's got a title. It's got a UNESCO title, so it attracts tourists, it attracts scholars, it attracts researchers, it attracts young ones like y'all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? So, Madhu, what is your take on now that you will you plan to bring out another book on Ramappa for children? Take them there. You can see so many drawings and so many sculptures and so many such beautiful works on stone. So, what is your plan?
We were talking to the children about the 1,000-page document which is written, when the site is gone for the nomination. So there's an entire procedure. I was sharing with the children that how all these things happen. So there will be hundreds of drawings. Okay, there will be thousands of words going to write the inscription. And I was sharing with them that what the values the building has, that's why it becomes a World Heritage Site. So I'll be very happy to take these children on a tour.
Yes, I think you must plan a tour because it's so close.
Yes.
Warangal district is so close.
Yes, ma'am.
And you must go there, take the children with you, show them that. Another site which got a World Heritage title is Dholavira. It's a Harappan town. You know how many sites we have? Harappan sites in almost 2,500 sites we have in this country, in the subcontinent. So it tells
It's
us
actually a really big number.
Yeah, very big number.
It's really
and that's how
fascinating to know that it's in our Hyderabad. In
This Ramappa is near Hyderabad, but the Harappan township, when you talk of Harappan sites and Harappan ports, and we had the earliest port in a place called Lothal in Gujarat. And I do hope, you'll start. I think I must pass on these videos we have been making on Harappan sites and monuments. And I think the focus school and your school must go through show these videos while they are teaching about, our ancient civilization. And Madhu, I have another question for you. That while authoring these books, how reader friendly have you made it from the cost point of view and from the print point of view? Is it a large print?
Yes,
I've seen some of your books, very interesting. But
yeah, ma'am, I'll come to the fact straight. When I was writing these books, the first question was who will do the illustration. So, the cost goes on increasing the more number of people you involve and the more fancy things you get involved. So I tell my publisher straight away that I want a black and white book. Then they say, black and white books are not sold. I said, no, black and white books are sold when you make them pocket friendly and then the paper quality, and also make them in an activity book form, because all these schools now are working with the activity format. So like my school, my books are very much with the curriculum. So every story ends into an activity. So my story ends with 3 activity, and they are made for 3 different age groups. Grade 2 to 4 is one age group. Grade 5 to 7 is another age group. Grade 8 onwards another age group. So one book when you buy, you will read it 3 times.
Yes, definitely.
So paisa vasool.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. And I remember that when in archaeology, when I used to bring out books,
Ma'am.
I used to bring out 20 rupee books. This is, so 20 rupees is very easy to buy for everybody.
Yes.
And then I used to give a provision of notes behind. So when they visit a monument, they read the large print. The children can hold the book in their hand.
Yes.
It's both pocket friendly, and then you can turn the page as you see the monument, read about it, and then you can make your little notes behind. So just children, because you are the future citizens of our country, who are going to manage our country's heritage, monuments, sites, antiquities, I would request you all to encourage your parents, your friends, your circle to visit these heritage tourism sites and promote it by way of talking about it. They say word of mouth, but you can take pictures. You can now, with this technology, you can, and all the social platforms available. You can spread the word about our monuments and how they are connected with our freedom struggle too. Most of our monuments, most of our museums have artifacts connected to our freedom struggle. You have cannons, you have arms, you have guns, isn't it? You have shields, you have engravings, lithographs showing you the different kind of paintings by different people. 1857 war, those who were present on site made sketches, then went back and made these prints. So I request all you children to spread both about Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and the World Heritage Week. The importance of the World Heritage Week is for education and awareness. Celebrated for education and awareness. So thank you so much. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you, Sakina. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.